OutDaughtered. Photos of the Busby Quintuplets and their family from birth until now. Fans of the Busby family have watched the record-breaking quintuplets grow up right before their eyes on the TLC reality show OutDaughtered. Since 2016, Adam and Danielle Busby, who have been married since 2006, documented their lives with eldest daughter Blake Louise and her 5 younger sisters, Ava Lane, Olivia Marie, Hazel Grace, Riley Paige, and Parker Kate, known for being the first all-girl quintuplets in the United States. The quintuplets turned 10 years old in April 2025, with Danielle celebrating the milestone birthday on Instagram. "What a journey we have been on, and I wouldn't change it for anything," she wrote. In Touch takes a look at the family through the years. When people first heard the story of Adam and Danielle Busby, many were amazed. Their life is not just about raising children. It's about raising 6 daughters, including the only all-girl quintuplets in the United States. Their story captured the hearts of millions around the world through the popular TLC reality show OutDaughtered. But before the cameras started rolling, and before millions of viewers watched their lives unfold, Adam and Danielle Busby were simply a young couple trying to build a family together. Like many couples, they dreamed of having children. They imagined birthday parties, school days, family vacations, and all the little moments that make family life special. However, their journey to becoming parents was not easy. Danielle Busby struggled with infertility in the early years of their marriage. It was a difficult and emotional time for both of them. They wanted children more than anything, but month after month, their hopes were met with disappointment. Instead of giving up, Adam and Danielle decided to seek medical help. After going through fertility treatments, their dream finally came true. Danielle became pregnant with their first child. In 2011, their beautiful daughter Blake Louise Busby was born. Blake quickly became the center of their world. Adam and Danielle adored her, and they were thrilled to finally be parents. Their home was filled with laughter, sleepless nights, and the wonderful chaos that comes with raising a baby. For a while, life felt complete, but Adam and Danielle still hoped to give Blake a sibling someday. They returned to fertility treatments again, hoping to expand their family. What happened next was something they never could have imagined. Danielle became pregnant again. At first, the couple thought they might be expecting twins. Multiple births are common when fertility treatments are involved. But during one of the early ultrasounds, doctors discovered something shocking. Danielle wasn't carrying twins. She wasn't carrying triplets either. She was carrying quintuplets, 5 babies. Adam and Danielle were stunned. The news was almost impossible to process. Raising one child already felt like a big responsibility. Now they were about to welcome 5 more babies into their family at the same time. But the surprises didn't stop there. The doctors soon revealed another incredible detail. All 5 babies were girls. That meant Adam and Danielle were about to become parents to 6 daughters. Friends, family, and doctors were all amazed. All-girl quintuplets are extremely rare, and cases like Danielle's almost never happen. Suddenly, the Busby family's quiet life in Texas was about to change forever. Danielle's pregnancy was considered high risk. Carrying 5 babies at once places enormous stress on a mother's body. Doctors monitored her very closely, and she had frequent appointments to make sure the babies were growing safely. Adam supported Danielle every step of the way. He attended doctor visits, helped around the house, and did everything he could to make sure his wife and their growing babies were safe. Meanwhile, little Blake was about to become a big sister in a very big way. The Busbys began preparing their home for the arrival of 5 newborn babies. They needed cribs, clothes, diapers, bottles, and countless other baby supplies. Friends and family stepped in to help. Everyone understood that the Busbys were about to face a parenting challenge unlike anything most families experience. As Danielle's pregnancy progressed, it became clear that the babies would likely arrive early. Multiple births rarely go full term, and doctors wanted to be prepared for a premature delivery. Then the big day arrived. On April 8, 2015, Danielle gave birth to the Busby Quintuplets. The delivery took place in Houston, Texas, and it required a large medical team. Doctors, nurses, and specialists filled the room to ensure that each baby would receive immediate care. In just a few minutes, 5 tiny baby girls entered the world. Their names were Ava Lane, Olivia Marie, Hazel Grace, Riley Page, and Parker Kate. Each baby had her own unique personality from the very beginning. Ava and Olivia are identical twins, something that made the quintuplets even more unique. The other three girls are fraternal. Because the babies were born prematurely, they needed to spend time in the neonatal intensive care unit, often called the NICU. This was an emotional time for Adam and Danielle. On one hand, they were overwhelmed with joy. Their daughters had arrived safely. But on the other hand, it was difficult to see such tiny babies connected to medical equipment. Every day, Adam and Danielle visited the NICU to spend time with their daughters. They held them, talked to them, and waited patiently for the day they could finally bring them home. During this time, photos of the tiny quintuplets began to capture people's attention. The images showed 5 little girls lying side by side, wrapped in soft blankets. Those photos would later become some of the most famous images associated with the Busby family. After several weeks, the babies grew stronger. One by one, they were finally allowed to leave the hospital and go home. That moment marked the beginning of a completely new chapter for the Busby family. Suddenly, Adam and Danielle were responsible for 6 young daughters under the age of 4. Their home quickly became a whirlwind of activity. Feeding schedules, diaper changes, laundry, and sleepless nights became the new normal. Caring for 5 newborns at the same time required incredible organization and teamwork. Every feeding involved preparing multiple bottles. Every diaper change seemed to lead directly to another one. And sleep became a rare luxury. Yet despite the exhaustion, Adam and Danielle often said they felt incredibly blessed. Photos from those early months show the quintuplets lying together on blankets, dressed in matching outfits. Sometimes they wore tiny bows on their heads, while other times they were wrapped in colorful swaddles. These images perfectly captured the sweetness of their early days. Of course, raising 5 babies at once was never easy. Days felt overwhelming. There were moments when Adam and Danielle wondered how they would manage everything. But they quickly learned an important lesson about parenting multiples. Teamwork was essential. Adam and Danielle worked together constantly. When one parent felt exhausted, the other stepped in to help. Family members also played a big role in supporting the Busbys. Danielle's sisters, especially Ashley and Crystal, often helped care for the girls. Little Blake also embraced a role as the proud big sister. Even at a young age, she loved helping with her baby sisters. She would bring help to help, entertain them, and sometimes simply sit nearby while they played. As the quintuplets grew older, their personalities began to shine. Ava often appeared calm and sweet. Olivia was playful and full of energy. Hazel became known for her bright red hair and adorable smile. Riley showed a bold and confident personality. Parker was gentle and thoughtful. These differences made each girl special in her own way. Photos from their toddler years show the quintuplets exploring the world together. Sometimes they sat in a row during snack time, each holding a small cup or a piece of fruit. Other pictures capture them playing with toys, laughing together, or hugging their parents. For Adam and Danielle, these moments were priceless. They often said that although raising 6 daughters was challenging, it also filled their lives with joy. Eventually, the Busby family's incredible story caught the attention of television producers. The idea of following a family raising the only all-girl quintuplets in America was simply too fascinating to ignore. Soon, cameras began filming their daily lives. That's how the reality series OutDaughtered was born. The show introduced viewers to the Busby family's unique world. Audiences watched as Adam and Danielle navigated the chaos of raising 6 daughters. Every episode showed the challenges, laughter, and heartfelt moments that come with a large family. From grocery store trips to birthday parties, viewers saw how the Busbys managed life with quintuplets. But what truly captured people's hearts were the children themselves. The quintuplets quickly became fan favorites. Each girl's personality made viewers smile. And of course, fans loved seeing photos and videos showing how much the girls had grown since their tiny newborn days. From those first NICU photos to their playful toddler years, the journey of the Busby quintuplets became something millions of people followed closely. And as time passed, the family story continued to evolve in ways no one could have predicted. As the Busby Quintuplets continued to grow, life inside the Busby household became even more energetic, louder, and full of unforgettable moments. The early toddler years are always a busy time for any family, but for Adam and Danielle Busby, those years felt like a whirlwind that never seemed to slow down. 5 toddlers learning to walk, talk, and explore the world at the same time created a unique type of chaos that only parents of multiples can truly understand. Every day in the Busby home was a new adventure. Some mornings began peacefully, but within minutes the house would be filled with giggles, footsteps, toys scattered across the floor, and the familiar sound of little voices calling for their parents. Blake Busby, the oldest daughter, was growing into her role as the big sister. Even though she was still very young herself, she often helped in small ways. Sometimes she would try to entertain the Quintuplets with silly faces, or bring toys to them while Adam and Danielle handled other tasks. Photos from these years show a beautiful picture of family life. In many pictures, the Quintuplets are dressed in matching outfits, sitting side by side with their big sister nearby. The smiles on their faces tell the story of a home filled with love. But behind those happy photos, the reality of raising 6 daughters was still incredibly demanding. Adam and Danielle had to stay organized just to get through the day. Meals required planning. Bath time required patience. Bedtime required teamwork. One child needing attention could quickly turn into 5 children needing attention at the exact same moment. Still, the Busbys managed to find humor in the chaos. One of the things that made their story so relatable to viewers was how honest they were about the challenges of parenting. Adam and Danielle never pretended that everything was perfect. They shared the messy moments, the sleepless nights, and the stressful days along with the happy ones. This honesty helped people connect with them. As the Quintuplets reached toddler age, their personalities became even more clear. Ava Lane Busby often appeared sweet and caring. She was sometimes described as the quiet observer of the group. Olivia Marie Busby, Ava's identical twin, had a playful energy that made her stand out. She loved to laugh and seemed to enjoy making people smile. Hazel Grace Busby quickly became recognizable because of her beautiful red hair and bright smile. Hazel also faced a unique challenge growing up. She was diagnosed with a condition called nystagmus, which affects eye movement and vision. This meant Hazel needed regular visits to specialists to monitor her eyesight. For Adam and Danielle, this added another layer of responsibility. They wanted to make sure Hazel received the best possible care, while also keeping up with the needs of the other children. Despite the medical challenges, Hazel's joyful personality always shined through. Riley Paige Busby became known for her bold and confident nature. Even at a young age, Riley showed signs of independence and determination. Many fans of OutDaughtered often describe Riley as one of the most outspoken members of the Quintuplets. Parker Kate Busby, on the other hand, often showed a more sensitive side. She could be shy in new situations and sometimes preferred staying close to her parents. These differences between the girls made the family dynamic even more interesting. While they shared birthdays and many experiences together, each girl was developing her own unique identity. Meanwhile, Adam Busby was balancing fatherhood with his professional life. Before the show became widely popular, Adam worked in the business and media industry. Supporting a family of 8 required a great deal of responsibility, and he worked hard to make sure his daughters had everything they needed. Danielle Busby also played an incredible role in managing the household. Many viewers admired her ability to keep the family organized while caring for 6 young daughters. Over time, Danielle also began pursuing business ventures of her own, including opening a boutique and working on other projects that allowed her to combine family life with entrepreneurship. As the popularity of OutDaughtered grew, the Busby family's photos and updates began spreading across social media. Fans loved seeing the girls grow up. Photos from birthdays, family trips, holidays, and everyday life gave viewers a glimpse into the Busbys' world beyond the television show. One thing that stood out in many of these photos was how close the sisters appeared to be. Growing up with 5 siblings the same age created a unique bond between the Quintuplets. They learned to share toys, share attention, and share experiences from a very young age. Sometimes this meant disagreements and sibling arguments, but more often, it meant laughter and friendship. Family outings were another big part of the Busby story. Trips to the park, vacations, and simple adventures around their hometown created many memorable moments. Of course, traveling with 6 young daughters required careful planning. Packing for a normal family trip can already be stressful. Packing for a family of 8 was an entirely different challenge. Still, Adam and Danielle believed that creating family memories was important. Photos from these trips often show the girls smiling together in matching outfits, exploring new places, or simply enjoying time with the quintuplets. As the years passed, the quintuplets slowly transitioned from toddlers into preschool-aged children. This stage brought new milestones: learning letters and numbers, making friends, developing hobbies and interests. For the first time, the girls began experiencing life outside the home in a more structured environment. Starting school was a big step for the family. Adam and Danielle had to make decisions about education that would work best for all 6 daughters. Meanwhile, fans continued to follow every update closely. People who had watched the girls since birth felt emotionally connected to their journey. Every new photo showing how much the quintuplets had grown felt like watching distant relatives grow up. Blake Busby was also changing as she grew older. As the oldest sibling, she sometimes experienced life differently from the quintuplets. She had moments where she enjoyed being the big sister, but she also had moments where she simply wanted attention from her parents like any other child. Adam and Danielle worked hard to make sure Blake felt special and supported. They often spent one-on-one time with her, attending her school activities and celebrating her achievements. This balance was important in a household where the youngest children often required constant attention. Over time, viewers of OutDaughtered saw the Busby family face not only joyful moments, but also personal challenges. Danielle began experiencing health concerns that required medical attention and careful monitoring. For the family, this was a reminder that life is unpredictable. Even in a home filled with laughter and love, difficult moments can still appear. Through these challenges, the Busbys continued to rely on their faith, family support, and strong partnership. Adam and Danielle often spoke about the importance of staying positive and focusing on what truly matters. Their story was never just about raising quintuplets. It was about resilience. It was about teamwork. And most importantly, it was about family. As the quintuplets continued growing, new photos captured their transformation from tiny NICU babies into energetic young girls with big personalities. Looking back at those early pictures from the hospital, it was hard to believe how much they had grown. The once tiny newborns who could fit in the palm of a hand were now running around, laughing, learning, and discovering the world around them. For fans who had followed their journey from the beginning, these photos represented something special. They showed the passage of time. They showed the power of family love. And they showed how 5 little girls and their big sister changed the lives of their parents forever. But as the Busby family moved forward into the next stages of life, even bigger adventures were waiting ahead. The girls would soon enter school, develop stronger personalities, and face new experiences that would shape who they would become. And for the Busby parents, the journey of raising 6 daughters was only just beginning. During the early toddler years, the girls began exploring their world with curiosity and excitement. Suddenly, the quiet newborn stage was replaced by tiny footsteps running through the house, little voices calling for attention, and constant laughter echoing in every room. Hazel stood out right away because of her beautiful red hair. Fans of the Busby family often noticed how sweet and gentle she seemed. However, Hazel also faced a challenge during her early years. Doctors discovered that she had an eye condition that required monitoring and treatment. Danielle and Adam were naturally worried when they first heard the news. As parents, nothing is more stressful than hearing that one of your children might need medical attention. Hazel was later diagnosed with a condition called nystagmus, which causes involuntary eye movement. It meant that her eyes would move back and forth without her control, sometimes affecting her vision. Each of the quintuplets started showing clearer personalities as they grew. Ava often appeared calm and affectionate. She loved hugs and being close to her parents. Olivia, on the other hand, seemed to have endless energy. She was playful, silly, and always ready to make everyone laugh. Riley quickly developed a reputation as the confident one. She was bold, curious, and often determined to do things her own way. Sometimes Riley even surprised her parents with how independent she seemed. Parker, meanwhile, was often described as the quiet and thoughtful one. She appeared more cautious than her sisters, especially when trying new things. But when Parker felt comfortable, she showed a sweet and loving personality that melted everyone's hearts. At the same time, big sister Blake was growing up right alongside the Quintuplets. Being the oldest in a house full of younger sisters came with its own